Hi, Cooper. Hey, babies. This is really funny because when I was in the shower, I was like, I really need to make 2023 like the year that I actually get my gut health and physical health like in shape, because I've been trying and playing around with it for so long. I know way more than I need to know right now to know that I really need to get all of this in check, because I just want to feel strong and healthy and have my stomach be happy. Which is also why I showed these in my little video before. I'll get more into these later. Angel of Diet and Nutrition. You intuitively know what is good for you. You are being urged to pay attention to what you eat and drink. Make sure you maintain a balanced diet. Remember, you intuitively know what is good for you. Simply pay attention and be mindful, all in moderation. You are also being urged to pay attention to your thoughts. Healthy nutrition is not solely derived from what we eat and drink. It also stems from our thoughts. Positive and loving thoughts are just as nourishing as good food and drink. Let go of every fearful and negative thought and replace all with love. There is nothing to fear. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicole and I teach a lot of practices around abundance, money mindset, and manifestation. If you're not already following me on my Instagram handle, it's aligned.life. A lot more like coaching content there. This is kind of just more of an insight into, I guess, my personal life on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of different topics that I just wanted to talk about, and I wanted to do 12 days of Vlogmas along with 12 days of abundance tips. So along with that, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit congested. If you haven't watched my video yesterday, then go and watch it. But I went to New York City for a trip with my family and my boyfriend and came back with a little bit of a cold. So we're just dealing with that. But the card that I picked today when I was doing my morning practice was, let me show you. You've already seen it because I already showed you it. It was the Angel of Diet and Nutrition. And it says, pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what is good for you. So I figured that I would go a little bit into my story around just getting my, I guess you would say, gut health in check. I haven't shared a lot of this information on there, but it's something that I wanted to cover in my podcast and my YouTube, just to kind of give a little bit of help for anyone else that is also kind of struggling with gut issues, like stomach issues, bloating, all of that kind of thing. When I started going to college in 2010 was when my issues around like just my gut and my stomach started. And I took such a deep dive into all of the different books, resources, documentaries, movies, everything you could possibly imagine around food, around what was good for you, what was bad for you, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. And I went down such a deep rabbit hole. And I learned a lot of knowledge, but I also learned a lot of things that were not helpful to my mindset when it came to food. Because now that I have gone vegan for a few years, I went vegetarian for years, like plant-based, I have dived so much into the nutrition around food to like really learn what I should be eating and like what's going on with my stomach to try to like heal my bloating and like all of my stomach issues, because every single time I would have a meal, my stomach would just like blow up like a balloon and it was super uncomfortable. So all that I've learned has completely come full circle. I remember being at a Dr. Joe Dispenza event and I was talking to this girl about someone who she follows that teaches about the relationship that you have with food. If you follow like the normal culture of diet and nutrition, they don't really talk about your mindset and your relationship with food. And along with Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has a book called The Placebo Effect. And what that book basically says is that you are the placebo effect of whatever you choose to believe to be true for yourself. In summary, your thoughts are creating your emotions are what you are constantly running on day to day. We're constantly feeding off of our emotional set points and the emotional habits that we have set for ourselves on a daily basis. It's really no shock that if you believe that something is unhealthy for you, you're going to see negative side effects of that in your body. It just really comes down to how much you're appreciating the food that you eat and the state of being that you're in when you're eating the food. One of the things that I've tried to do, and I still forget to do it all the time, is try to be more present with the food that I'm eating and also being grateful for the food that I'm eating. It really is so simple, and like all you need to do is appreciate all of the food that you're able to eat and allow it to nourish your body in the way that it's supposed to. This is just my 2 cents and everything that I've learned, because what I did to myself by watching all the different documentaries and trying all the different diets or different kinds of ways to eat, I placed so much judgment on my food, and it just became really unhealthy because everything that I was eating, I was like, is this gonna make me bloat? Is this healthy? Is this not healthy? Like, is this gonna hurt my stomach? Is this gonna hinder my stomach? Like, every single thing I was putting in my mouth, like, I had so much judgment and like fear around it before I even ate it. So it's like, no wonder my body was always constantly inflamed and upset, because I was always in like this state of panic before I was eating my food. So because I pulled this card today and because I'm sick and I don't want to do a full day of Vlogmas, I just wanted to give you a strategy that maybe you could look into that really helped me. I ended up accidentally going to a free event where these ladies were talking about something called energy codes. And I know. I was very, very late to this whole energy bus because I just thought it was weird. But I ended up going to a free thing with them, and I ended up winning like a free first session with this girl. So a couple months passed and I was just like, what the heck? Like, my stomach is not good. Like, I need help. How do I fix this? Who can I reach out to? And I was like, I have a free session. It's with this energy thing. It's called Energy Codes, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out. So I ended up scheduling the meeting. Met at her house, and she had like a little, like those crystals that you have on a pendant. And I know, just stay with me. I know if you're not spiritual, just hang in there. It was a little pendant that like I would just sit down with her and she would just ask questions, and she would go off of whatever the pendant was saying and follow all of the answers in this whole like program that she had. It's called Energy Codes. There's a whole like yes or no system where you ask all these questions and it leads down to all these different things. So she did a whole session on me, asked all these different questions around like my heart center, like my body, what was in alignment, what was out of alignment, what was blocking it, and like what were the causes behind it. And I got a very, very detailed layout of like everything that was kind of blocked in my system. And then I also got a very clear idea of like what I should, like what my body does like and what my body doesn't like. So she ended up finding out that my body had like a really big block towards even like absorbing the nutrition, because I was eating nutritious things but my body couldn't absorb it because it just wasn't open to it. She did the whole session, apparently cleared a bunch of stuff. You're supposed to like wait a couple days just to let everything kind of pass through your system and then see how you feel afterwards. And I remember going to dinner that night with my mom right after. I went to Zhao's and I got a whole bowl. Like, it's like noodles and tofu and broccoli and corn and all of that. And I usually can only finish half of it. But I ended up eating the entire thing and I felt so good after. Like, my stomach was so like, it wasn't bloating, it wasn't upset, it wasn't irritated, just like, it was full, but it was very like, it just felt like it should feel. It felt good. It felt full, but it felt like very lean. I don't know how to explain it, but my digestion just felt amazing, and I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't know really what's happening, but if like that's what it does, then like I'm for it. So I of course planned another session with her, and then the journey started from there. So every time that I have anything that kind of comes up and my digestion starts to slow down again, I usually reach out to her for another session. I think I've done 6 sessions total. I think I did 3, or like every 3 to 4 days in a row, and then I did that for a while, then I was good for a while, and then life happens, and just like a lot of really hard things happened in my life that I was trying to like emotionally get through. And I noticed that like whenever I have really hard times like emotionally, it definitely affects my stomach. I was going through some stuff, reached out to her again, did another session, and I felt so good afterwards. So I was like, you wanna know what? Like, I don't know, but this seems to be working for me. So like I said, it's called Energy Codes. I honestly don't know a lot about it. It's just a system that they've laid out where they have all of these different steps that they'll take you through and questions that they'll take you through in order to figure out where your blockages are or where you're out of alignment with yourself. They'll just ask you a bunch of questions, go through everything. Like, she was able to pinpoint, like, it was kind of like a psychic reading. It was really weird because she was able to pinpoint on so many things that like happened in my life without her knowing. She would ask a question, and then it would be like, okay, like, you have a block here. And it was like, well, why do you have a block here? When you have a block here, it means that there's like this, and this going on. So she's like, have you experienced any of those things? And I'm like, yeah, like every single one of them. So it was very weird. It was kind of like a psychic reading, like energy clearing kind of thing. It was very in alignment with everything that has been going on in my life. Like, every single time she would ask me a question, and like it would lead her to a specific point in my body, and she would read off all of like the signs or symptoms of that like being misaligned, and it was always right on point with what was happening in my life. From the basic principles, it's an energy session to help clear your body, to get it in alignment with your highest self. Like I said, her stuff really worked for me, and of course this is like my personal recommendations. She actually recommended me some products to use that have really been helping me, and so I wanted to share those. But of course everyone's always going to be different, so what you need for your body is always going to be different. So that's the most annoying part with all this stuff, is it's kind of trial and error, but when you figure it out, it's great. But everyone's gonna have their own thing that they need. I would highly suggest that you reach out to her or anyone else that does energy codes. There's a lot of different people that are trained to do the energy codes process, I guess you say. But yeah, so if you just Google like energy codes, I'm sure you'll be able to find a lot of different like coaches and practitioners that do it out there. I'll link mine below. One of the first things that she recommended me was this D3 liquid. This is of course to enhance digestion. Like I said earlier, my body was having a lot of issues just digesting the nutrients. So this I take in the morning. I take 8 drops in the morning of this, and I know that it helps me just kind of, it really helps start my digestion for the day. I've noticed that as well. A lot of people drink coffee in the morning. I like to drink this because it really helps me. Or not drink it, but just do 8 drops. And then another brand that I use, I don't know how to say this brand, but I've been using them for a while now per her recommendation. I personally like to take liquid vitamins over anything that has a capsule, just because I feel like the capsule is just another process for like my system to have to digest and break down, and like I want something that's going to be able to be easily absorbed and quickly absorbed without a lot of issue. So I like to do these because they're all liquid besides the third one. So it's a 3-step process. This one is the first one. I take 20 drops of this one in the morning after I do the D3 vitamin, and then this one I take before I eat my first meal. Of course, it's called sunrise, so you want to eat it before you try to eat anything else for the day. And then I don't have the original bottle for this, but these are the ones that I'm supposed to take at night. I'm supposed to take 3 of these before I go to sleep, and I believe they're just fish oils. Like I said, I don't have the original packaging. That's what she recommended for me. I know that every single time I take all of these, it has really helped my stomach. So for now, it's helping me a lot. And also, I have been trying to drink electrolytes. She told me that my body was really low in electrolytes because I was always tired, and I'm still tired, but I'm not nearly as tired as I used to be. Instead of getting the little packets that you add into your water, I don't love using those ones because they have so much sugar in them. I just go and buy a bottle of water that has electrolytes in it. It kind of has a little bit more of a mineral-y taste when you drink the water, but after a while you won't realize it at all. Like, I don't even notice the difference. I use all of those products, and then I also make sure to drink at least one bottle that is water with electrolytes in it. That's what's helped me. That's what's helped my gut. My stomach has never felt better because I know exactly how it feels to be like, that's all I have to say. She was amazing for me. Yeah, if you are on the journey of trying to figure out your health with your gut issues and your stomach issues, know that you're not alone. And yeah, I just wanted to share what worked for me, and I'm so tired because I'm sick. I am going to peace out. Lies. I got a book in the mail the other day. So if you don't know, I have been reading personal development books for a long time now. I have so many, literally, like, look at this. You literally are propped up on a huge stack of personal development books. And then I also have all of these. And I have more in my closet. Needless to say, I have a lot of books on personal development, which I love them all. I have so many I could recommend if you want me to do another video, but I kind of got burnt out because I wanted to pick up my reading habit, but all of the personal development books, they're great and amazing and I love them, but they all are kind of like a workbook, and I just wanted a book where I could just read and chillax, and that would also have like a positive message. So today I know that like true crime is like a really popular thing. Don't even get me started on it because I think it's a really unhealthy thing for our society. But anyway, I know a lot of people are obsessed with true crime, so I'm not even going to touch on that because I'm going to get so many haters. I personally choose to surround myself with positive energy, good things, and things that I want to bring into my life, not things that I don't want to happen in my life. I have a hard time with media and social media because it takes you on such an emotional roller coaster, which, like, I get it. Our lives, we're human, I get it. We're supposed to have ups, we're supposed to have downs. Totally understand. It's not like I'm trying to run away from all the bad things in life, but it's like, if I'm gonna live, I want to be able to live a positive life and a happy life, and so I'm gonna focus on those things, so don't hate me. But what I was trying to say with that is that I've struggled with trying to find like books that are not personal development but that are also like positive, have a good storyline, and there's not like a ton of drama and chaos around. I could be totally wrong, so if you read this book, you might be like, Nicole, this doesn't fit into your positive mindset thing. But I've heard that it's a romance book. I haven't heard that it's super crazy or like chaotic, so I've heard that it's very juicy, to say the least. So I ended up getting this book, The Idea of You, because I saw another YouTuber recommend it, and we're gonna try it out and see if it's a little bit more chill. We could all use a little bit more romance in our life, so if there's anything that I'm okay with bringing into my life, this would be it. We're gonna read this one and I will let you know how it goes. So with that, that's everything I have for you today because I'm sick and I want to go to sleep. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and I would love to see you for the next Vlogmas. So bye guys.